Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface, picking up exactly where I left off on the last video. What I've done though, is I've now highlighted the two quests which I got previous before I got sidetracked and took this other quest line, and so I'm going to go off and do those. Now, thank you ever so much for the reaction that I got off the last video, because I got a lot of private messages, probably the most private messages I've had about a video, and it was really interesting because the majority of the messages that I got were actually people agreeing with me, my ideas on the questing experience and how poor it is, and they were offering further suggestions themselves, or going off. Some people went off into a little bit of a tangent and wanted me to solve the world debt problem, but that ain't going to happen. And then a couple of them disagreed with what I said, but debated their points very well indeed. It wasn't, oh my god, I think you're an idiot, no, nonsense that you get in forums. It was, as I personally think the questing experience is pretty good, and this is why I think it's pretty good. And they offered some, some very good arguments about their own questing experience. Whether or not I agree is a completely different matter, because I thought some of the points, well done for having a crack, but weren't particularly valid. My whole hero to zero debate, I'm not saying that we have to have quests all over the place like part 5 of the leveling experience, because again that would just get boring. What I'm trying to say is Blizzard are always going to treat you at the beginning of an expansion as if you're coming off the previous boss fight. They're not treating you as if you're a level 1 starting from scratch going to the end of that experience. They're always going to treat you as if, right, this person's just killed Illidan, this person's just killed Arthas, this person's just killed Deathwing. This is where we're picking things up from. So you are a valued member of the Horde or the Alliance. In that sense, the questing experience should be that you are a valued member of the Horde and the Alliance, and therefore this is what we need you to do in a new land of Pandaria. This is how we need you to trailblaze. This is how we need you to try and gain some allies to fight against the Horde, to fight against the Alliance. Not going around picking up pieces of wood, sifting through feces, picking flowers, stupid rubbish like that. And a lot of people that private message me, they all kind of said the same thing, maybe in slightly different words, but they pretty much all said the single-player leveling experience just has to be made a lot better, because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I absolutely agree with you. Could not agree more on that point. If you look at Star Wars, for instance, it's a phenomenal leveling up experience. The storylines are absolutely amazing, and they're broken up depending on what class you are. So whether you're a bounty hunter or Imperial soldier or whatnot, you have a very specific story for you, and I think the leveling experience in Star Wars is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Whether or not the game, when you get to the final level, falls apart, which I think personally it does, at least getting to the final level is a joy. Now, I've dinged level 86, so if you are wanting to power level, you can now make your way straight to the Krasarang Wilds, or the Valley of the Four Winds. And please now place your votes on where you want me to go in the comments section. Just put Krasarang Wilds or Valley of the Four Winds, and whichever gets the most votes, I will go there. What I'm going to do though is I'm actually going to continue, because we're getting to a very, very important storyline in the Jade Forest. So if you want to avoid spoilers, jump to part 9 when it comes out, because part 8 is going to finish this long storyline. And also, if you are playing Miss Pandaria, I highly recommend not going into the looking for dungeon system until you've done this quest, because again, spoiler warning, this is the storyline of how the Jade Temple falls to the corruption of the Shah. And of course, when you go into the Temple of the Jade Serpent in Dungeon Finder, it picks up from there. So you're at a corrupted, temple, and if I'm just, maybe being a little bit pedantic, but chronologically, it just makes your experience a wee bit better if you wait till you get to this point, complete this storyline, and then jump in. However, there's always a however with things, isn't there? However, Blizzard, you've put it in too late. Because I've just dinged level 86 without having any guild experience modifiers, without having any rested experience, or anything like that, and I dinged level 86 before I got to this storyline, and the Temple of the Jade Serpent is the opening dungeon of the expansion. So, in effect, you're almost forcing people to do that dungeon first, before seeing actually how it gets corrupted by the Shah. So I think that's a bit of a dumb move. This should have been one of the earliest quests in the game's experience. In actual fact, when you come out of the starting zone, this probably should have been the very next quest from there. I think that makes a whole lot more logical sense than leaving it till you've dinged 86, where you can go into a new zone. And also, when you ding 86, it opens up the next dungeon, which is the Storm Stout Brewery. So again, not making massive amount of sense on where you're putting the quest, Blizzard. So if that was shifted until exactly after the start zone, would have been a lot better. So here are, and it's just nice to see, by the way, the Temple of the Jade Serpent before it gets corrupted, because you can walk around it at your leisure. It's an instant set of quests, this, by the way. You do phase out of where you are within the game. So you're almost doing the dungeon without it being a dungeon, which is pretty cool, I think. I think it's pretty wicked. The quests aren't exactly rocket science again inside, but it does provide, as I've said, a very, very important development in the storyline. And once more, if you do want me to go to the Krasarang Wilds, put in the comments Krasarang Wilds, and if you want me to go to the Valley of the Four Winds next, put Valley of the Four Winds, and that will start at part 9. So just to finish off this video, we're now going to actually see the Jade Serpent, and this is the Jade Serpent itself. It's not up to full power by any stretch of the imagination. It's been awoken way too early, but it's going to give you a little bit of lore and a little bit of storyline, and then the next video, all hell breaks loose, and it's going to be another very interesting one, because there's a right mixed bag of quests, believe me, and it could probably open up this whole debate, and people that disagree with it, maybe you'll have a different point of view. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. Place your votes in the comments. Please do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter, and I shall be back with some more stuff very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.